What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Mount Mograph and Goodie Giveaway number 5, the Ultra Explosions script. So this one is a ton of fun. You can create on the very most basic level a little effect like this, which looks awesome. I was stumbling across the internet and I wound up on videocopilot.com. This really great tutorial maker and product maker. His name is Andrew Kramer. If you've never seen any of his videos, which I'm sure most of you have, he's totally awesome. He had a tutorial on how to make an effect like this, so I checked it out, and while I was checking out, I was like, man, that'd be really cool to have a script with some controls on it to generate this effect very easily. So I went ahead and created the Ultra Explosion script. However, once again, all the credit for this effect and technique goes on over to Andrew Kramer at Video Copilot. A link to the tutorial is inside the script. So anyway, if you go on over to mountmograph.com/freebies, down at the very bottom of this page, there is the Ultra Explosion script, which you can go ahead and click this link to download, and you'll get a little zip file. And once you open the zip file, you should have a JSX bin, which you, once again, like any other script, you install into your script UI folder in your After Effects. So if your After Effects is running, just close it and restart it once you install the Ultra Explosion script, and go ahead and open it up. As you can see here, I got my really cruddy little example going. And this is like the most basic thing you can create with this script. There is a ton of stuff you can do. So anyway, let's create a new composition here, and I'll show you how exactly this works. So I actually have already grabbed it from my window and just docked it right over here. So Command-N, new composition. Does not matter what your background color is, because the script will change it to black so it's nice and visible. So with a new composition created, let's go ahead and I'll just show you a real quick overview of stuff. You can click this little information tab to see some information about it, as well as a link to my website, all the tutorials for the summits, and then also the Video Copilot shockwave thing. So his website is cool. Got some cool tutorials for you guys to check out as well. And yeah, he's a cool dude. So we'll close this guy, and let's go ahead and just create an Ultra Explosion. So you have two buttons here. You have your Generate Burst, and then you have your special little checkbox. Nothing happens if you check it right off the bat. But let's go ahead and click the Generate Burst, and we'll see what happens. So I clicked it, and I'm going to get just tons of stuff. And you're going to want to eventually go and explore a little bit more. There's some other layers as well that get generated in here, but those are just shied for right now. So anyway, once you have this generated, you're going to see we have this awesome looking circle. So you can go ahead and do a RAM preview, and you'll see that it actually will animate in a really cool kind of smoky way. Let's check this out here. So we have a little shaking. Maybe I'll preview a little bit longer so no one gets seizures here. But anyway, it's going to play, and I will walk you through the cool little controls that we have in this script. So as you can see, it's going to shake around, and that was one click, and we're going to have a little fancy thing to show your parents, show your friends, and make them super impressed. So let's go ahead and take a look at our controls. If you're going to click your controls layer, that's where most of the most basic controls are housed. So you have your explosion time. And I will also throw out there that this effect is a little bit heavy on the computer, so it might be a little bit laggy here or there, so you can definitely turn down your playback to maybe half or third resolution if you are experiencing some trouble. So your explosion time is basically explosions start from the middle and come out, so the lower this number is, you will see that it gets smaller, and these are all keyframeable, so why don't we set a keyframe here and press U, and we'll go ahead and just make a little tiny animation for this one. So I will go ahead in time, and since I'm going ahead in time, why don't I just turn my explosion time up, and we'll see, maybe to about here. And now we'll be able to actually go from the middle or the start or wherever we want. We can scrub on our timeline and see this cool explosion, which I think looks pretty dang cool. So explosion width is, we'll also set a keyframe here. Explosion width is the actual width of this explosion. So you can go ahead and crank this up if you want to get a little bit of a thicker ring of the explosion or something, and then turn it down if you want as well. And we'll just throw that quick keyframe in there. Explosion dispersion is actually how you're gonna get this little effect to appear and disappear. So the lower this number goes, if we just set a keyframe here, and then go back in time a little bit, the lower this number is, it's going to kind of evaporate or dissipate this explosion. So just turn it down until it disappears, and there we go, we got a black screen, and then I will just do a play, and as you can see, it kind of smokes on and then just animates like an explosion. So the next little guy in here is the randomize. So if you ever have a lot of these effects, they all have to be nested in their own composition. But if you don't want them to have the same kind of noise and stuff like that, just play around with this randomize number, and you'll get a ton of different shapes that you can go and do much more with. So then you have your explosion color, pretty self-explanatory here. You can change the color of this effect to tons of different stuff, and obviously if you pick some of the colors, it's not going to look great, so you can tighten the color a little bit by turning this number up to 100, and if that still doesn't work, you can actually choke the color with this checkbox and then draw it back. But really, you should just try to find a color that kind of works a little bit better. Sometimes the saturation is just a little bit too high. So why don't we go ahead and just jump into the next effect. I'm going to actually unshine all this stuff. Now that we've done a basic overview, I will delete these effects right here, and then we are actually going to go ahead and click the special checkbox, and as you can see on the tooltip, generate a more complex burst. So why don't we just click the generate burst, and now we're going to get a totally different looking effect, and this one is more like fiery. So once again, you have all the same controls here. Your explosion time we can set and crank this number up, and then also, just play around with it, have tons of fun. So that is just the basic overview of this, and this one also will animate. Let's go ahead and crawl through some of the stuff that this does in the background. So if you click this little button up here to unshine your layers, you'll see we have a bunch of stuff, and this is pretty similar to the tutorial that Andrew Kramer posted. However, I did change a couple little things here or there that I thought might be nice to have. So you can click all these layers and just see kind of what this effect is. It starts as this, and you can go and change the effects in here. Something that is really cool, if you click this VC burst layer, you can go and switch your noise type to something like a block. And then if you turn all your effects back on here, let me make this, what did this have to be here? This was an alpha matte, I believe. Yeah, you can kind of get this nice digital look, and you can keep playing around. Eventually you'll get something really cool, but there's so much you can do. All these settings are just effects that are not third-party plugins inside After Effects, so you can play around with this a ton. And so once you have an effect that you're happy with, I'll just have these two example layers. I have this one here, just like we just talked about, just a basic animation, and then I also made another one. If I click into this composition, I just made another one with the complex or special burst, same basic animation here. And then if you go ahead and you take those two compositions and throw them in a new composition, just like this, and change your mode to like a screen or something, you can wind up with these very complex bursts. So anyway, just a quick little overview. I hope you guys have fun playing around with it, and that is about it for today. I've got some cool tutorials coming up later this week, but yeah, as always, thanks for checking out Mount Mograph and having fun. If you liked this script and want to see more scripts or content or something, leave a like or subscribe or leave a comment. Anyway, you guys all rock. I will catch you later. Peace out.